All right. Looks like they are off.
We are off. Okay, Luca and Marl. I think few players would complain about having these characters at the start, but of course we're going to have to take a look at their text to see exactly how nice or how painful that's going to be.
Very true. Antipo team is always nice, though.
Absolutely. The big weaknesses are that they are both really slow, and there's not a lot of physical power here. Luckily, we can get a couple more characters pretty quickly to help balance that out.
That's right. Yeah, there's pretty much two tied to the cathedral real early if they really need a third, right? Third, right?
Yes, you can get the first in the front room of the cathedral, which would normally be when Frog saves Chrono and Luca from an ambush, and then you can get a fourth character if you decide to finish the cathedral.
Right. Okay.
And as often happens, the runners have split in different directions to do their early game grocery runs.
I
Kale
do
grabbing a
love.
couple items. Sorry, go ahead.
Of course, no problem. I do love your phrase, groceries there, grocery run, grocery shopping. I think about it every time I play this now.
I feel like that's appropriate because it's just, the basic things you need.
Right. Yeah. It's not the most glamorous way to start a seed, but it definitely makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Buying things like ethers and mid tonics and heals, and of course revives and shelters. Those 5 are my list. Can be very important.
Definitely. It looks like Tuna's debating whether or not she should get some armor and weapons too.
Some gear. Kale is going to take the Guardia Forest fight, which should get 1 tech on each of the characters.
All right. Looks like Prism Shard is in the snail shop.
Okay.
Snail stop, right? That's an interesting item.
Prism Shard will enable you to do the Rainbow Shell side quest. The other requirement for that is Marl, and she's already here, so
That's right.
we may be seeing that.
That's right. Tuna opted not to buy it, but I'm sure he'll be coming back for it later. He is checking the tools check here now.
Yes. Shelter. Unfortunately, my stream hiccuped a little on Kale's side, and I didn't see what Luca's tech was, but it looks like Marl got cured too.
Okay, I missed it as well. I was waiting for the item check. It was a chrono trigger
Ooh,
from
interesting.
the carpenter. So that is, yeah.
Okay, and then Kale coming over to get the tab, and then taking this Rolly Rider fight. Protect and life 2. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not really what you want here, but
No, I mean, life 2 is useful in the very broad scheme of things. I think
right.
when you're heading I think most people at least head into the front of the cathedral to get that character. There's definitely divided opinion on whether you should finish the cathedral and when you should make that choice.
Yeah.
But I think what people are looking for is a tech that will clear the screen.
Yeah, that makes sense. It spawns what, 5 or 6 Naga at once?
It's 4, but
Oh wow.
still, that's quite
It
a
feels
few.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't have AoE, it feels like it's a lot.
yeah. If you don't have AoE, it feels like 8.
Okay, Tuna's doing the Medina Village Market Shop
Mhm.
fight. So,
Luca's first tech is Mega Bomb. Okay.
yeah, that's nice. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
that's
have the mana for it, but
um if Mr. Scruff decides to heal, I suspect Luca will have the mana for it. I've run into that problem with less magical characters. Like I've had a problem with Chrono specifically. I have to make sure he's level 7 or something if I want to cast Luminaire. I think Luca will probably have more MP.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Mega Bomb won't clear the whole screen, but it'll hit multiple things and the damage will be alright, so that's not horrible. Like, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
And here come the Nagas.
Yeah, that's a three target mega bomb. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Azure also picked up the Chrono trigger, and he's now checking the snail stall. Yeah,
Yep.
also opting to ignore the prism shard.
Indeed. Okay, and character number 3 is Robo. We
Very
see on Mr. Scruff's side. Okay. This isn't a bad team, other than them being Team Slowpoke, because these are the 3 slowest characters. That's the big thing. Other than that, there's lots of good things.
That is definitely a big problem. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, after playing so much Jets, how much a few speed tabs, like 3 or 4 speed, makes a gigantic difference in quality of life.
Speed is huge in this game.
It really is the most important stat.
It really is. There are luckily some improvements. If Robo's Ribbon comes up as a key item, that will give Robo +3 speed. Most players know where to find speed tabs.
Right.
And hopefully the gate key will show up, magic will get unlocked, Marl can learn haste, you can mitigate with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. If she gets haste, that helps a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting away time and a half. Azure did the sunken desert treasure chest checks, and now we're on our way into the cathedral. So Robo gets... Oh, I guess we don't see his text right away.
Nothing yet. I think the next fight that they have to take will give him a tech.
Okay, cool. What do you want? Robo Tackle here?
Oh gosh, I mean... I would absolutely take Robo Tackle. I'd take Uzi Punch or Shock, too.
Right.
Neither Luca nor Marl has the Ice or the Fire 2 you'd need for an Ice Tackle or Fire Tackle, so Robo Tackle loses a little bit of usefulness because of that, but you at least would have it for physical damage.
That's very true. Yeah, I was thinking again in terms of like mana efficiency, but
right, yeah.
Maybe even something like a heal, because they don't have any healing yet.
But yeah, I think it's hard to say because especially in boss rando, I mean, gosh, if it's Nizbel, then you hope for maybe like Shock or even Laser Spin or something, but something you need to hit with physical, like a vanilla slash or something, as opposed to super slash. I'd probably want a physical tech.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because you're not going to get that from either of the other 2 characters.
Exactly. Okay, Rocket Punch.
I think both players have speed belts now, which definitely helps with this very, very slow team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rocket Punch. That's pretty good. Is that that's Robo's vanilla first tech too, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. That should probably at least do more damage than his regular attacks.
Yeah, not sure what the scaling is, but definitely better.
We'll have to see who the boss is. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Very true. Yeah, so what, I'm not up on all the different tiers that could be shuffled, so what are some potential bosses we could see here?
So at the moment, the bosses that are shuffled are single target bosses, i.e. bosses with one part are shuffled amongst themselves, and double target bosses are shuffled amongst themselves. So we won't see anything here like mutants, nothing like that, double target. Normally it would be Yakra. We could see Hecarim here, we could see a Golem here, we could see Slash and Flee. There are quite a few. I think it looks like it's Nizbel.
Does.
There are a few limitations with the single target bosses, except for just due to how the game runs in the back end and animations working. Certain bosses need to be in spaces that will accommodate them.
Right.
So if boss rooms are too different, sometimes you can't move them around a lot. I think Hecarim is one that can't be in a whole lot of places, for example, but...
That makes sense. Okay. It looks like, yeah, it's Nizbel too. It's pretty spicy, but his health will be scaled down here quite a bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yakra can have something like... somebody else would know the exact numbers. I tend to not think further than the hundreds place while I'm playing because, you know, there's so much to think about. It's some 900 to 1300 at most. So I'd say you could definitely get him down by tossing bombs at him.
Yeah. Oh, unless you miss.
I don't know if I've ever seen Mega Bomb miss.
I was not aware it could happen. Yeah, that's really not what you want to see, that's for sure.
Definitely not. Especially with the MP you just used.
Yeah, oh, it's, yeah, at 500 a hit, yeah, okay, but good.
But yeah, very good.
I've seen a handful of really spicy races where the randomized bosses become a real problem, and I get worried for the runner sometimes.
They definitely can.
10 minutes against like Golem twins or something. I see. I know they're sweating.
What Taban vest in that chest? That's great.
Extremely nice, yeah. That's a 2 more speed for Luca too, right?
Yes.
Can't be mad about that.
Absolutely not. Kale going in to fight Nizbel.
Alright, we're about to get our 4th character check here for MrScruffNinjaTuna. Looks like it's Frog.
Frog.
Okay.
And, we'll see if Frog goes in the party or not. A lot of people won't use Frog, at least immediately. He's a little difficult to use in Jets. I personally think it's because he's one of those characters that's actually pretty well balanced, and this is definitely an environment for like min-maxing.
You know, I tend to agree with you, yeah. Frog might be my favorite character in the game in general, but yeah, after doing a couple jet seeds, you really realize how rough he scales into the late game, even with the nice things Jet's added, like buffing hero metal and stuff.
Yeah, and we're still working on it, so, you know, hopefully in the future.
Yeah. Hopefully, although...
But you know, he's been chosen for now.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I think a lot of people won't take him right away in that room because there's a danger of the game kind of soft locking for a minute.
Yeah, possibly. I usually just wait till I get outside because I like to menu less. So I just like go outside because I know I'm going to save before my bridge check.
Yeah.
And I just check everything then.
Makes sense because you're not going to like fight with him in the castle.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Kale
bridge
is...
check,
Yeah.
looks like that's what Tuna's doing here.
And bridge check. Kale is through Nisbel, no problem. Okay,
Pendant.
that's a pendant.
That's
Probably he'll keep that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
In boss rando, Xenon Bridge can be pretty dangerous because it's a 2-part boss. So if you're not getting the vanilla Zombor, you're getting a mutant or you're getting a Lavos spawn.
Yeah,
And
those are all really bad options.
yeah, I think my favorite, I say favorite option, this is one of those cases where first place isn't that great. I would prefer to fight the weaker of the Lavos spawns because you only have to kill the head. And it has reduced hit points, so you can just kind of chip away at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although the needles from the lava spawn might be a problem because I don't think they have any AoE healing.
Yeah, they can hurt.
Yeah. Although I did notice that Frog has water too, which is pretty nice to have. I don't think. Yeah, he also has Frog Squash. It looks like, which is
okay.
Interesting. But no, once again, no heals though.
We see on Kale's screen that Luca's next tech is Flare.
Oh, that's very spicy.
Very good.
I did want to clarify real quick. So both players, assuming they keep the pendant and beat the boss, that's 2/3 of a go mode, right? Because they have the Chrono trigger already.
That is correct.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes. That would be the Black Omen Go mode, which requires the Chrono Trigger, the Clone, and the Pendant for access to the future and thus Death Peak. Basically, you do the Death Peak quest and you open the Black Omen, which is not how it would be in vanilla, but that's fine. Makes it interesting.
It's very interesting. I find the Black Omen path to be my favorite one. One, because Black Omen has really much better music than Ocean Palace, in my opinion. And two, I find the Zeal fights to be a bit faster for me than Lavos.
I think they're safer, and that's nice. So even though Black Omen has that extra boss rush, it's just long enough that, I think you do gain enough strength there that it's usually not too bad by the end. Giga Mutant on the bridge, okay.
Giga Mutant, that seems pretty scary.
Yeah, Giga Mutant will suck your MP after you hit it, and you can only hit it with magic. So it's one of the biggest jerks in the boss pool, for sure.
For sure.
The good thing is that, well, here, I would personally rather see Giga Mutant than Terra Mutant, and that is because Terra Mutant will come out with more status effects than Giga will, and because Terra Mutant will, suck HP from its bottom half to heal itself.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, you have to get all of that damage in, I think it's 1100 something, depending on the roll, in a round, basically.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so it can be really tricky. Giga, you can usually at least power through.
Yeah, and it seems like that's what's happening here. I mean, we did see One Sleep come out, but you're right. You don't have to worry about Chaos or whatever it's called. I did notice Robo throwing a group heal, though. I must have missed it when he read the tech, but...
Oh yeah, he might have gotten Heal Beam.
I always mix up which one is Heal Beam and which one is Cure Beam.
Yes. As far as the techs go in this game, generally if it's called Cure, it's single target, and if it's called Heal something, it's multi-target.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
Double Cure, a double tech is an exception, but in general, I think that follows.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. You gotta kill the bottom too, and it does get a little bit wacky, but Mega Bomb should have been also hitting the bottom, so it shouldn't take too much more to take it out at this point.
Yeah, that's right. That's the benefit of having a Mega Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And a water too, I guess.
Yep, can't do physical though. Honestly, at this point, probably just gotta throw those ethers on Luca.
Yeah. Otherwise, the poison will wear him down. Oof.
Yeah. This is where it could get dicey. Ooh. Yes, I understand there's been discussion lately about buying ethers at the beginning of the game, so I'm going to jump in and also endorse that. Always buy ethers. Regular ethers, their price is not inflated. There are items that have their price inflated in jets to balance the challenge. Regular ethers, that's not the case.
Are they even cheaper in jets? They're so cheap.
They, gosh, I don't remember. I haven't played vanilla in a while at this point, but
all right, got through it.
Nice flare, frog flare, but yeah, scraped through. So good job, Tuna. Ooh.
Yeah, got in an unlucky position there with a lot of sleep.
Yeah, sometimes it can just overwhelm you.
Yeah, this early in the game too, you don't have a lot of chances to pick up like a vigil hat or any kind of status immunity.
Yeah, no, when it comes to when Xenon Bridge is open, it's sort of like, well, hope you got Magus because he comes with an amulet. That's your big option.
Yeah.
But now that he's through it, Scruff can go to the future, and there's a lot of good treasure there. We'll see if he chooses to go there first or not.
That's right. He'll have to get through the trial, right? Which shouldn't be a huge problem. But...
yeah, it's probably all right.
Yeah. Getting the free triple tabs.
See Kale going into Hecarim Cave, which is not a bad choice at this point, especially if he doesn't feel like he can handle Xenon.
Right.
Lots of tech points in here too. Probably Luca and Frog are coming up on their third tech, which is where they're going to get capped without visiting Specchio at the end of time to learn magic, as in vanilla, but Robo does not have that limitation, so he can learn as many as he wants.
Nice. So, actually, remind me, please. Does having Pendant give you access to End of Time? Can you walk backwards through the portal, or is that just for 65 minutes?
So that particular trick is just for 65 million in terms of the gate key. It also works if you've gone through to 12,000 BC, Age of Antiquity, you can go back through that cave portal, I believe, and get to End of Time. Pendant and the future, you need to clear out the factory first to get to End of Time. So you can, but it's not nearly as nice as doing it with the gate key.
Okay. Okay, so you have to go through factory. That's right. Yeah. It's definitely a bit of an ordeal.
Yeah, and it depends. Like, I think ideally you don't want to have to go to the factory, but there are times that I've made that call and been glad I made that call. So I think there is a right time to do it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, thinking about what we have on our characters here, we already have Flare, we already have Water 2, I guess. Robo's not tech locked, like you said, and it looked like Marley even had haste. Do you think that magic is something that they're really going to go out of their way to get in this seed?
I think that most players, when presented with the opportunity to get it easily, would probably just go for it.
Yeah.
But I think if they get locked out of it, if the gate key is just hidden and they don't want to do the factory for some reason, I think there's a lot of good stuff to work with in the beginning tech pool.
Yeah, that would be my guess too. It seems like they're. I mean, again, with Flare, well, what else do you need?
Yeah, no, I mean, the big thing on Luca would be Fire 2, and that's for double techs.
Oh, yeah.
Like Fire Tackle and Blaze Kick, yeah.
Right.
Gosh, did the enemy in Hecarim Cave just drop a gold stud? Did I read that right?
I thought that's what I saw as well.
It could have been something like a gold suit, which wouldn't be nearly gold. But...
I did see Robo pick up Robo Tackle.
It was a gold helm.
Ah.
I was like...
Getting very exciting.
It's like, I didn't know you could get something that good off of those things. Okay. See what we got in Hecarim Cave. We have the other Nizbel,
Okay.
which is easier, so
Lesser Nizbel.
yes.
The nice bill, even.
Ah. So this one will have more HP, but other than that, it should be about the same idea.
Yeah. They don't have any lightning, but it shouldn't end up being a problem with the player. Right?
No, you only really need to hit Nizbel with lightning if you need to do physical damage. Otherwise, you can just throw the other elements at it and go crazy.
That's pretty nice to know.
Scruff is looting the desert and probably getting a little bit of EXP and tech points off of these guys. I think most players would probably run for the boss first.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, that or use the trick to get downstairs and loot those chests and leave, as Kale did earlier.
Mm-hmm. I think Scruff or Tuna, or however we want to refer to him, he pumped his characters pretty full of tabs. I wonder if he's already confirmed his late game team here.
That's true. Using tabs does usually mean you're feeling invested in these characters.
Yeah. Although I think it might have just been Robo and Luca, which those two are definitely safe bets anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that was just a heal, and then now we're gonna go downstairs and loot, and I would imagine fight Retinite, but there's another red vest.
Yeah, he's got water. I guess he could do it. Water lowering the defense, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, lowers defense and its evade.
Oh yeah, the evade is probably big.
Yeah, nightmares about Robo-Tackle missing on that thing, I swear.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Okay, Kale is through Nizbel, no problem, again.
Very nice. I didn't learn it till very recently, but apparently every individual hit of Confuse can miss.
Oh yeah, they can.
Alright, Hecarim Cave item check.
Bent hilt. Okay. Not necessarily what people want to see,
right.
But not necessarily awful either, especially with Frog in the mix.
Frog. Yeah, that makes sense. Just doesn't really, other than the Frog, I guess, doesn't really synergize with any of the other checks we are aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tuna at some point picked up the Rainbow Shell piece. The some shard from the snail shop.
Okay.
Also, is not really a Masamune related quest.
Kale didn't pet the cat. Nice damage off that Robo-Tackle for this point in the game, certainly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think
that should do those legs, and then at this point just go as fast as you can and try to kill that core, which looks like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, but you do get double the experience and tech points from the battle if you do kill it.
Which would be pretty nice for Robo, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the EXP is good, I guess. Yeah.
Right. They did get an Aeon Helm from it, which is a pretty nice one.
Yeah. Okay. Kale is doing Xenon again, looks like.
All right.
Probably just feels sufficiently powerful enough to do it now.
Yeah, it makes sense after going through Hecarim.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess actually, like, looking at the chart, Bent Hilton Frog is also 2/3 of a go mode.
Indeed. Yeah, I think whether by confirmation bias or not, a lot of players are noticing the Magus' Castle Go mode happening a lot more often, and I think that's because, you know, it doesn't require 3 key items, it requires 2 key items and a character, and
Mhm.
you have a lot higher chance of getting a specific character than you do a specific item.
That does make a lot of sense, yeah. There are
Yeah.
significantly few characters in the pool. Oh, a ribbon.
Ribbon.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I feel like a lot of the times you're like, well, I want progress, but as long as you've got Robo, that ribbon is a huge boon.
I agree. Yeah, it's not something you really want to see when you're looking for something crucial or a big item check, but when you're already gonna do Sunken Desert, grabbing a ribbon out of that,
Mm-hmm. And
pretty
you know, hey, it wasn't the Moonstone.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the
Moon-
Moonstone.
Moonstone is just a pain.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll see what Scruff is gonna do. I think gonna go ahead and get access to the future now.
looks like it. Yeah,
Yep. I think
throwing
that's a good
Frog in jail.
idea. Yeah.
Poor Frog.
Had Robo first, but then switched to Frog. I think that's smart. Frog is faster.
Yes, right. Well, I don't know. Is he faster even with the ribbon?
Oh, even with the ribbon, he might not be, but Frog also has water 2 right now.
Right.
So
yeah. That's what
he
I was
can,
thinking.
yeah. Those are the 2 things I typically look at. Like a character with high speed, so you get the first hit in against the guards. A character strong enough to do 100 damage, that's not too hard as long as they've got a good weapon on them. Like even Luca and Marl with a decent weapon, I think,
Oh
can
yeah,
do
no
it.
problem.
And then spread damage for the fights with multiple guards. And while it doesn't work in jets, I've tried. Anyone who's never waited around in the jail cell to be executed instead of escaping, you gotta do it once. It's pretty great.
I don't think I've ever tried it myself in vanilla. That sounds really interesting though.
I highly recommend it. You get I guess I wasn't expecting that cutscene the first time, but I am so glad I've seen it. I won't spoil it for anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled, but it's a very memorable moment. And you won't die, don't worry.
Yeah, definitely something I gotta try next time.
Mm-hmm.
Play vanilla.
Yes. And if you do like looting the jail area, you can still do it if you wait to be executed.
Okay.
So
I do like looting the jail area. I
yeah,
don't know why. It's very satisfying.
it really is. So you won't lose access to that.
Ooh.
Right, Giga Mutant again on Kale's side.
Yeah. Hopefully he can get his revenge on this mutant.
Thinking Flare will help with that. Okay, got the top. Okay, I'm guessing we're saving Fritz over here. Yeah, hashtag save Fritz.
Definitely. Those mid-ethers. Oof.
Yeah, it's a slight risk right now, only in that we don't know where Chrono is, but those, yeah, the items, mid-ethers cost 3,000 apiece in Jets of Time, so the fact that he gives you 10 for free, that's 30,000 gold, that's huge, and
That is huge.
they are so much more efficient in battle, obviously. I mean, you can usually buy the regular ones at the beginning, but it's only 10, and you know, all your good techs like Flare and stuff, they cost 15 or 20. Oof.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely nice to have. Oh,
Yeah, Kale's just wiped to Giga Mutant.
that mutant really has his number. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that bottom half, you gotta make sure it dies around the same time as the top.
It's very rude.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure he's trying to make sure it dies at the same time as the top, but mutants on the bridge can just be such a pain.
Looks like he's going for it again.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it's the pendant, so he knows it's absolutely something that he wants to have.
Yeah, that does make sense. So if he did want to, you know, not do this again, are there even any other checks available?
Well, I think Kale hasn't done the Sunken Desert, so he could do
Right.
that. And there's Denadoro Mountains still.
Ah, yes, Denadoro.
Don't think I'm forgetting anything else. I suppose since the Prism Shard is at Snail Stop and Marl is available, that check is also available.
Oh, yeah, okay. But I mean, am I right in saying that the Yakra 13 boss position would be harder than this?
It would be a little stronger, probably. It would also be a single boss, so it's...
Oh, that's true.
It depends, I think, on what was there. And some people don't like to do the Prism Shard quest just because, like, it takes a little longer than they like. You can only save right outside the castle. And, you also have to do it to turn in the Moonstone, and nobody likes doing that. But some people like to at least have both of them before you have to go through that whole thing.
Yeah, that's usually how I handle it too. It really is just so long. And also not particularly interesting until the boss fight.
Yeah. Alright, Dragon Tank down. No problems over there.
Nice. Oh, you also have to use Marley for the boss fight.
You do, yeah. And she doesn't have much in the way of good techs, which is kind of her big weakness as a character, especially in Jets, I think. Like, she's great if you pair her with the right person, but
she's
if
really
not,
just a hay spot here in the sea too, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Tuna ending up in the future here.
Alright. Gonna grab treasure.
This is my favorite part. Just getting these high yield chests in the future.
Hyper Ether, and Blue Mail. Okay.
Okay, cool. Blue Mail can be really nice if you're underleveled against Zeal 2, because that Hexagon Mist wipes my party.
Indeed. Full Ether, Mega Blast, okay. And if he decides to do Aris Dome, there's another sealed door there with some pretty good stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if you do the Guardian fight, usually pretty quick, and they have flare, should not be a problem.
Yeah, the Guardian itself is immune to fire damage, but I bet flare would take out its little bits, which are what gives it the nasty counterattack.
Yeah. I actually don't think I realized the Guardian was immune to fire.
Not very many things in Chrono Trigger are immune to fire, and I think that's part of why Luca is such a useful character.
Right.
But hilariously, a lot of the things that are immune to fire are things that in vanilla require you to have Luca with you.
I guess that makes sense, kind of. Yeah.
And Dragon Tank's head.
Dragon Tank, yeah, exactly. Purely just to troll the player. Okay, so yeah. So we are doing Airstone.
Good job, Kale.
Alright.
That stupid mutant is dead.
Dead for good this time. Third time is the charm, as they say. Let's see. Pendant. I wouldn't be surprised if you go straight into Guardian Castle.
Looks like that's the plan.
2 bits down.
Yep, Kale's gonna send Robo to prison. For the crime of, I don't know, being an awesome robot. I don't know.
He's pretty great. He saved the forest.
He
Although I guess
did.
not in Azure's game. So, since we're talking about the trial, which character is your favorite to have the "Let's blow this joint" line on?
Gosh, I feel like I like the characters it sounds the most wrong on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I kind of like it when like Ayla or Magus says it.
Yeah, those are mine too. I also like. I really like the niche interaction where Chrono says it because that's his canonical one line in the game. Let's blow.
Right. You can I like how you can in Jets, there are a couple times where a line is supposed to belong to a specific character, but I think it just gets given to a default character in a specific position. I'm like, haha, we made Chrono talk.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. I get a kick out of it every time for some reason. I don't know why.
If he's in the burrow, you can, give him Mr. Thou speak with the "'tis thee again."
Tis thee again, yeah.
Kale's stream is frozen for me. I don't know if it is for you.
It is for me, but I am able to see. I also have his actual Twitch stream up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna hang out.
Okay.
All right, looks like it's back. I didn't even have to do anything. Or, I mean, I fixed it all by myself. Good job, me.
Of course. Good job. Thank you. Ooh, sunshades.
That's really nice. Really, really nice. 25% increased damage?
I believe so. I believe prism specs are 50%.
Yeah, that sounds right. Which, not only do glasses make you smarter, but they also make you do more damage.
Yeah, they make you powerful.
Very true.
And we've seen how large Luca's glasses are, so...
That's why she's the strongest character. It makes sense.
Exactly. That is exactly why.
Shout out to our bike racing champions.
Indeed. Winners of a previous tournament, whose names I think will probably get replaced. I don't know if it's going to be winners of this tournament, or we've got a weekly ladder race going. That's gonna take a top 3 eventually.
It's a really cool feature thing to add. Frog is busting Robo out of jail here.
Grabbing the free mid-tonics.
I love that too. I mean, if you couldn't tell, I'm just a big fan of this game in general, but there's so many like tiny interactions I love so much. Like how when you get the 5 mid-tonics, it says amazing.
But there really are. I mean, this is a game where I think a lot of the little things really make it. They just put a little more into it and all these little areas and
bent sword.
Ooh, well, there's the bent sword.
Okay, but he does not have the bent hilt.
He does not have the hilt.
But that means Azure's gonna hit go mode here. Or actually, that's not right. He still has to do Stone for that. But yeah, they're both really close to it. They just don't realize.
Yeah, gosh. I mean, it's going to be a matter of doing the checks in. Like, what order are they going to do the checks in? I would absolutely do Hecarim Cave at some point. If I was playing. Same with Ariston, because they're both fairly, low stress checks. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scruff gonna check Protodome for the character in here. Never a bad idea. Unless you're just like totally sure you're good.
Yeah, it's very quick, but Do you think he would replace? I guess he doesn't know the Magus Castles Go mode, so you probably want to replace Frog with anybody else. I guess.
It's Chrono.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Chrono's a good guy. Look at him dance.
That's right. He's a good dancer.
Yeah.
I would probably be happy seeing Chrono, but I feel like... I mean, there's so much split opinion in Jets on, you know, which characters to use when.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chrono definitely depends on getting a good sword, but that said, he's sort of my, like, pet character that, like, I want to use a lot, that other people don't. Like, Luke has always been my favorite character, but I don't need to make a case for her. Like...
Yeah, right. Oh. Going to the Sun
Palace.
Palace.
Which is understandable because it's a very quick check, and he's got a couple good pieces of red gear, plus that Taban vest on Luca will cut her fire damage in half. The red vests will just absorb it.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing where the other piece of the sword is, I don't think this is a bad call.
I don't think it's a bad call either. I have recently learned that there are some tricks you can do to speed up finding the correct flame. I always just hit each one by one until I find it. Very slow.
Yes. Yeah, you can use Flame Toss or Slash with Luca or Chrono to hit multiple of the flames. And I think that won't get you an official hit, but the correct flame will still never counterattack you.
Right.
And then I think it's if you've never reset the game, it has to be in a specific state. That third one from the left that Scruff just hit is the most likely one for it to be.
Oh, I did not know that. That's very interesting.
It does have to shuffle once. That the first roulette will always have to happen. I don't know. And I just cast haste if I have Marl or whatever. So,
of course, yeah.
You know, you can charm it.
Is that is that intended behavior, or is that just a factor of the seed?
So, I believe, and this is going to air later, so I may get corrected, but we will see. So it has to do with the random number generators in a lot of these older Square RPGs aren't truly random. And there's like a seed number that the cartridge uses every time it's turned on or reset. And like even depending on whether you powered off or just did a soft reset can change the number the way the number moves. But so it's just based on starting a new game in a clean state. And because Jets is a randomizer and we put it through the software to create ourselves a brand new game each time, we always do start in that brand new state. So there are things that would be based on the random number generator that we can count on, such as the first battle that you ever take giving you critical hits in a certain order.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because as far as I understand it, those critical hits are based on the amount of time between like the starting screen of the game and when you start the file. But since there's no file selected, Jets, when you start a new seed, it's pretty much guaranteed to always be second and fourth hits are always crits.
Right. There's nothing to change what the random number seed would be, so it will always start in the same state. There's the Ruby Knight.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And that's an item for the third Go mode that we haven't seen yet.
Collect them all, I say. Do every Go mode.
Yep.
So, as much as I love this game, one thing I've never done is actually run Black Omen every time period.
Ooh.
One day, maybe.
I used to do that a lot.
I bet if I played vanilla again, I could probably stomach it from everything I've learned from Jets on how to get through it quickly, but that's like a several-hour ordeal of redoing the same dungeon.
Right. Certain things don't come back, at least, so the subsequent trips will be faster. Like the bosses won't come back. Queen Zeal will be back, and the Mammon Machine. I think you always have to fight those last three. I think the rest of them will be gone, though.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Also,
Yeah.
Azure doing Son of Sun here,
Mhm.
very interesting. He's right behind Tuna, but yeah, he chose to skip Aerostone for now.
Yeah. Well, and I think Son of Sun is often a faster check, but
Right, but in this case, it's
yep.
not what you would want. Also, Tuna doing Factory here is, again, I suppose, like a red herring kind of thing.
Well, Factory will get him magic, so I think at
True.
this point he just
No waste, yeah.
has decided, like, I don't want to try to find the gate key anymore. I just want magic, and well, I know that feel, so
Yeah,
it's
I get it too.
yeah. It's a very tough call for me. It's definitely one of those things where, by the time you finish the seed, in hindsight, you're able to say,
Yeah,
like, I should have done that, but
we have commentators 2020, or I don't even know how you would phrase it, but
right, exactly.
aware of the best possible.
It's a tough call sometimes.
Yeah, I think it makes some sense to me too. I know that there's a part of me that is so focused on certain types of optimization that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do Hacker and Cave until I have magic, because that's wasting tech points, even though it may end up being slower, because it's harder to automatically know what's faster or slower.
Yeah.
Ooh, Prism Specs pickup.
Oh,
That is amazing.
well, I now think going into the Factory was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it's the long play. Prism Specs, Magic, XP.
And I mean, gosh, Prism Specs and a Sunshades.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, a lot of your big damage against whatever final boss you fight, because, well, for anyone who doesn't know, if our players take the Black Omen route, the second form of Queen Zeal will be the final boss. We don't also make them fight 3 forms of Lavos, because that would be completely insane. So, yeah. But whomever you're fighting, a lot of the damage is just like, what's my best double tech?
AzureCale, it looked like he just scraped by that Son of Sun fight there with 2 party members dead and Chrono at 200 health, but
yep.
maybe it was calculated.
I think Chrono had red gear on, so they pretty much couldn't kill him.
Oh, you're right. He has a red one, yeah.
Yep.
It's good to go.
But now he's gonna do Aerostone.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, all right.
I think if he hits his go mode first, then it's going to come down to obviously whatever other optimizations around the differences that the runners have, but also the difference between having magic and not having magic.
Yeah, and I mean, I would wonder if, we know that Kale is going to grab a piece of the sword here, and so he knows he's going to basically be in go mode.
Yep.
I think the tracker won't, at least when you're auto-tracking, it won't automatically give it to you until you visit Melchior, but effectively fine. It's go mode.
Yeah, I'll throw it on there.
Yeah. But, will he want magic first? Especially going through Magus's palace, you can get magic after it, you just jump back into the gate, and then you can go to End of Time.
Mm-hmm.
That could mean a lot of tech grinding at Ocean Palace, so...
That's true. Yeah. I think that the other consideration is if it looks like he wants to use Chrono, who, if I understand correctly, is not magic locked either.
He is magic locked.
Oh, he is magic locked.
Yeah, okay. It's Chrono, Luca, Marl, and Frog.
Oh, I don't know why. I'm sorry. I thought it was based off the position you picked them up in, not the actual base character.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I mean, that would be an interesting feature for the randomizer, certainly. But, like, the character in Ayla's position doesn't need it because Ayla doesn't need it, as opposed to just it's character-based. But yeah, at the moment it's character-based.
Okay. Well, even if he is locked, I notice he has Confused Luminaire Life, which is a pretty good starting 2 techs.
That's like all you need.
Yeah. Pretty
Those are, in fact, his last 3 techs in vanilla.
Oh, wow, okay. Life comes that late? That's interesting.
Yeah, Chrono gets Lightning 2 a slot earlier than everybody else gets their level 2 spell. I don't know, probably just because he's the main character, so he's special. But...
Yeah, he is special. He's special to me.
That's right.
I always make sure I revive him. Spoilers, he dies in the game.
Oh, the first time I tried beating the game without him alive, the ending made me feel so guilty.
Yeah,
Like I can't do this ever again.
I don't know if I could ever bring myself to do that. That's like the genocide run in Undertale. It hurts.
Oh yeah. Alright, Kale through Guardian. Scruff has hit end of time.
Very nice.
I'm gonna throw
Gonna do is unlocking.
probably the ideal magic party in there.
Mhm. Love Specchio's theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my favorite, not even probably, absolutely top 5 video game soundtracks of all time for me, this game. It's so good.
This game has a really great soundtrack. I mean, like, Mitsuda is great, and I know Nobuo Uematsu, who did the Final Fantasy series at this point, stepped in to help with it too, and you know, that certainly didn't do anything bad to the soundtrack either.
Absolutely. You know, they throw the term dream team around a lot for this game, and it's extremely
Absolutely.
oriented in every
It
in
is,
every.
yeah.
I learned recently that Yasunori Mitsuda actually threatened to quit because he was doing sound effect design, and he said, "If you don't let
Mm.
me compose the next game, I'm gonna quit."
Yeah, I've heard
Right.
that too, that
Chrono
he
Trigger.
wanted to compose. They're like, "Here you go."
It worked out. Now it's a part of history.
Yep, worked out for all of us.
So I don't think I've ever seen a racer fight Specchio.
I think that I've only ever fought him by accident, by mashing through. But that said, if you do have decent magic, like, I mean, with Flare or whatever,
Right.
I mean, you've got an okay chance, and you get ethers of some flavor depending on how strong Specchio is, and magic tabs.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
the tabs
the
can be kind of nice.
yeah, I think the goblin form might give you mid ethers, but I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I don't really remember. But I tried it on a recent seed because I had flare and haste and everything. I was like, this will
Yeah.
be no problem, and totally wiped the floor with me because you just level so fast in jets that
Mhm.
I was not prepared for the upgraded Specchio.
Scruff popped out of the gate in Medina, but I suspect has to come back here because this is where the epic is.
Right. Yeah. It's tough keeping track of that thing sometimes. Yep, there it is.
Yep. Yeah, there's only a few cases
There's
where
the
it will
vent
follow
sewer.
you.
That's
Yep. All right, so will Kale feel like he's got time to pick up magic? Is the question, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious to
Mm.
see. Looks like Tunis setting up the Prism Shard quest.
Yep. Is he gonna finish it? I mean, I would do Hecarim Cave right after getting magic if I hadn't,
Right.
but we will see.
Yeah, I might just be setting it up. I'm not sure either.
Yeah,
In the
I can.
meantime, Azure is having Melchior forge the sword.
Yep.
Very exciting.
And I can understand being jumpy about that Prism Shard quest, because that
Right.
thing and Marl have been there since the beginning of the game, so you gotta
true.
wonder.
Yeah, sometimes it's such an alluring trap to try to figure out the logic based off like what items that you've been given at what points.
Mhm.
It really
Yep.
not be helpful or helpful.
I'm very poor at that when I'm running. Like, I can kind of do it when I'm watching, but
Mhm.
when I'm actually running, until I start getting down to like the last few checks, I'm just like, I don't remember.
Yeah, oh yeah, I absolutely have the same problem. I'm like, I don't know. Intuition, I'll try it. We'll see. Yeah, looks like he's finished. He's gonna finish the Prism Shard quest here.
Mhm. Kale grabbing some more sealed chests. Speed belt. Another speed belt. And a load vest. That's not bad.
Yeah.
At least the speed belts, I mean, you probably don't need more than one, but they sell for like 10k, so hey.
Oh, I didn't realize. That's very nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what weapon Chrono has. I forgot to check. I haven't
Yeah.
seen him do games, so I don't know if he needs anything good.
Yeah, that's definitely... I don't remember if we've seen any of Chrono's other weapons drop, like before Chrono showed up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's real tough for me to keep up as it is, let alone watch every chest that opens.
Yeah, I think like you can have a decent chance of finding a sword for him because he's the main character, so
he's got slasher.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, Chrono tends to get more weapon upgrades than the other characters, and thus there are more of them in the item pool. So there's that at least. But...
Yeah, I never considered that, but that does make a lot of sense. Anecdotally feels that way too. Like I'm always picking.
Yeah, especially when he's not available.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
you know.
You bet. I pick up Valkyrie every single seed, and I never use Marley.
Right.
I don't even see her.
I use her semi-frequently, which is funny. I used to have a bit of a reputation for how much I disliked her, but I'm okay in Jets because she talks less.
Hero metal, okay.
So
yeah, she talks less. Okay, so your problem is with her character. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm okay using her in battle.
Fair enough. She provides haste, so
yeah.
I can't hate her.
Yeah, but like I don't have her attack very often, so
right. Yeah, that makes sense. So looks like Tuna picking up hero metal from the prism shard, and Azure deciding to go into the desert, which I definitely did not have on my bingo card. Was desert after go mode.
Wondering if he's hoping to pick up the clone or something like that.
Yeah, I understand why, but I feel like a lot of people want to avoid Megas' castle.
Yeah. No, it's tricky. You know, some people are just getting tired of it. Some people are like, well, it's the slowest go mode.
Yeah.
Although others are saying that no, actually, Omen is the slowest go mode. And I'm sure it depends a little bit on, a player's personal strengths and weaknesses. Like, I finally got better at Magus' castle, but I am personally a lot stronger at Omen than like Ocean Palace.
Yeah,
I can just zoom through it. So
the music, it gives us power.
Yes.
It's gotta be. No, but I was the same way too, especially when I was first starting. I was like, oh, Megas' castle, I'd rather reset. Honestly, that's extremely slow. But yeah, you learn it. But it's still, it's still two fairly lengthy dungeons before you hit your final boss. So it makes sense to put in a little bit of time here and there to hopefully find a clone and just skip one of them.
Yep. All right, Golem boss over here.
Ooh, that's the best possible thing you can see here.
Just about.
Well, I suppose there's like an argument that you really want to see it in your final dungeon. But...
Yeah, like only if you want to see the boss in the twin spot instead. Kale engages enemies but does not get the new, which I'm guessing is what he was going for.
Yeah, that new can drop. He's also like a high yield, right?
Yeah, I think so. That didn't get him either. I don't know if you can get the new on the top of the screen. I usually get him in the middle. Hero character is Ayla.
Right.
Well, don't see any harm in grabbing her, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's here. You have to. Ayla's cool.
Yeah. You actually can skip the burrow character. Because you only need Frog to get into the magic cave.
That's right. You don't have to actually open his acorn chest thing.
But, it can be absolutely worth checking who the burrow character is.
Sure, yeah. And it looks like he wants to use her, so... Or at least, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't need to learn magic, so no extra trip to End of Time required.
Very true.
I'm gonna start smashing things.
She's really good at that.
She is indeed. Ooh, mid-ethers in the Fiona Shrine shop. That's good.
Awesome.
I think this is another reason people don't like doing the Prism Shard quest is the lengthy cutscene at the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's bad enough having to do Xenon Bridge after you get the item, which I mean can be a boon, but also can suck if you die to the boss and have to reset. But yeah, the Prism Shard quest is even worse about that. Harder boss, more cutscenes, lots of walking, stairs.
Yep. Alright, looks like Kale's going for it.
Okay.
And Scruff has the hero medal, so checking in the burrow now for that.
One of the best cutscenes in the game here.
Mm-hmm.
Almost pop.
Probably not what he was hoping to see.
Yeah, he's gotten magic now. I hope he thinks about Hecarim's Cave soon, because if he just forgets about it, then in his head he's thinking, oh man, for Go mode I need to do the whole Thomas Pop Giant's Claw chain.
Yeah, no, it looks like that's what he's doing.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kale heading into the creepy castle.
Very cool.
This is before the era where games were on multiple discs, like on, PS1 or whatever, but this place has a very, end of disc 1 vibe to it. Like, ooh, we're getting into it.
You're absolutely right. I mean, even thinking about the place in the storyline where, again, spoilers here, but you fight Magus, who you think is the big bad, and then he's not at all, and you find out so much more.
They've been building him up all game.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That's a real disc change moment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Giant's Claw. Oh man.
Demon hit, shield. Okay. Some decent treasure in Giant's Claw, so.
Crisis Arm.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
Okay, so also some decent loot in Magus's castle, I guess.
Indeed.
Cool. Discord has been popping this week with people doing a bunch of math on how good Crisis Arm actually is for Robotackle, which in Jets specifically is now modified to use the Crisis Arm modifier.
Yeah, it's changed to use at least the numbers differently. I think I would have to go look at them because I can't remember. But
I think from what I remember Pseudorc saying, like, I guess the way Crisis Arm works is it multiplies the damage by the last digit of Robo's HP, which is extremely misleading description, by the way. But Robotackle now applies that multiplier as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it can beat out Uzi Punch.
Yes, and it's pretty interesting because it's only in certain situations, so gotta know when to make that call, I guess.
Yeah, if you're trying to be really optimal, and of course, as speedrunners, they always are. Ooh, top end health. That's nice too. But But yeah, until this week, I thought Crisis Arm worked the same way that Dino Tail and Frog Squash did.
Which you would think by the description,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
it's not done very well. And I'll give Ted Woolsey a break because there is a hard character limit in games like these, and I'm sure he had to adhere to it. But yeah, a lot of us didn't know what that was all about when we were playing this when we were younger.
Yeah, this game is pretty great, but I think the translation is probably the single biggest issue with it. Just a lot of moments that are a little bit weird, like Confused, for example. Totally thought it was a chaos status effect flying
yeah.
spell.
I did too until I used it, and then I was like, wait, what? This is amazing.
Yeah.
I believe Confuse is called Frenzy in the new translation, which is a little more descriptive of what it actually does, which is hit things a lot with sword.
I mean, and for a character like Chrono, what more could you ask for? I guess Luminaire, but you get the best of both worlds because he's dead.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Atropos over in the castle.
That's pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty easy, so.
She's easy when you solo her.
Yeah, it's true. You usually have to solo her with Robo, and even then she's not really all that bad. She is not the final boss of her dungeon, either. Her spot's been removed out of Jets, actually, so she only appears in Lost Brando, but... We got Rubble fights over on Scruff's side, so...
Makes sense, yeah.
Maybe some techs he's looking for.
Why do Hecarim Cave when you can fight Rubbles for a chance at 100 tech points? Oof. The misses hurt me in my soul. But the crits make me feel better. Chicken soup for the low accuracy. Wow, that Robo Tackle just hit for 1592 damage. That is a beautiful thing.
His last number was only 5.
Yeah. Gosh. Oh, I think Azure Stream has
frozen again.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll pop back in a second.
Yeah, last time it came back after a minute or so. Meanwhile, I guess let's swap the audio here too. Tuna's gonna fight Flea Plus. I don't know.
Flea, at least. There's less of a difference between Flea and Flea Plus than Slash and Super Slash, I think.
Yeah, I think it's something about like elemental resistances being gone for Flea Plus, something like that.
Yeah, Super Slash.
Oh, that's for Slash.
Is like Slash himself, I think, is immune to ice and has some resistances. I don't remember if it's every other magical element or if it's just fire or something like that, but Super Slash you can basically just hit him with whatever, so it's
handy. Yeah.
Very flexible. Flea could possibly be a little rough in this spot just because it's a high HP slot, and I think Flea's the stair counter attack.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed. Yeah, it's awful. It's not guaranteed to go off, but I think he starts doing it when he's at like half HP. So the higher HP Flea has, the worse Flea is to fight.
That makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of Flea, I guess Azure has rolled a Yakra Flea. Yakra 13, it looks like.
I was gonna say something that actually looks kind of like a flea.
That's true, like a real flea. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, the insect and not the the drummer or whatever.
It's bassist, yeah, but
bassist.
I think it's
them up.
It's no problem. I think it's really funny that Yakra rolls for Flea here because he also does chaos.
He does.
Dream from the actual Rainbow Shell. That's on a Frog Seed. That's
Grand Leon.
Sorry, Grand Leon. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure at this point he's starting to worry about go mode.
Yeah. You've got to, yeah.
Yeah, an hour and 15 in, you kind of want to
I
have
mean,
some sort of idea.
when you have half the Masamune, Frog, Grand Leon, and Hero Metal, you're pretty much sure, I think, right?
Yep. Okay, this looks promising. Checking Melchior's shop. Oh, he has mid-ethers too. Here we go. Yeah, so I imagine after Hecarim's Cave, MrScruffNinjaTuna will want to take the go mode, because I think at this time into the run, you just kind of want to take whatever go mode you
want to
get.
go. Makes sense. I mean, he's got magic.
Mhm.
He's got a good party. He's got a beefed up Frog and a Robo.
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see if the early magic pays off, if that helps him close the gap a little bit. It certainly can.
That's what I'm hoping for a close race. That would make the difference, but we will have to see.
Mm-hmm. Gale running from a lot of these fights in the steps room here,
Yeah,
which
as
is,
you do.
you know, not always a bad idea. The last battle with, I think, 6 enemies in it can give you a decent amount of experience and tech points. So some people will just take that one.
Is that the one with all the jugglers?
That's a different room, and I think you have to take that one anyway.
Right.
But I think it's the... Oh, he's taking this fight too. I think it's the one after this one.
Gotcha. Wow, 2,000 damage flare. Very cool.
Nice. See what's in this chest. Sage bow.
Not what you want. Yeah.
Yeah, and a magma hand, which is okay. Not the best haul I've seen from that chest. Sometimes that particular sealed chest with the 2 items is just amazing.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten like Nova armor and prism specs possibly in the same run.
Wow. So, I don't think I've ever done Hecarim's Cave after going to the future, so I've never unsealed it.
Yeah, I often don't, but like sometimes it works out that way, so.
Sure, yeah. I imagine Nisbel 1 is going to be gone very soon.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, are we gonna need more than 1 flare? Okay, yes, but it's not gonna take too many rounds here.
Azure's taking damage from the... Oh, maybe he's doing it on purpose. Dino Tail?
Maybe? I don't know. Kale, only the penitent man shall pass. Okay, and there goes Nisbel.
Cure 2. Very cool.
Something I actually don't remember, I'll just have to check with the devs, if Cure 2 on Frog has been modified the way it has been on Marl. Hers also cures status effects now. which is actually really nice because it turns out there are seeds where you can't buy heals. So,
Wow, I never
yeah,
thought about that. That sounds really painful.
indeed. We actually just had a seed like that in our ladder race, and oh my god, thank goodness I decided to use her. It saved my butt.
Yeah, sure. I think I can't remember if this is vanilla behavior or not, but I think Kiss does heal status effects, right?
Kiss does normally, yes.
Okay, cool. Well, that's one reason to use it. I suppose.
Mhm.
Probably, probably don't want Isla as your healer, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to healing status effects, you just
Yeah,
have
you just
whoever do it, because
throw in it. Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Kale grabbing the treasure down there. There's some decent treasure down there, so I think some people will just take the drop on purpose.
Okay, so why is Tuna doing Denadoro now?
Um, I guess I just have to wonder if he really wants a different go mode, and
Yeah, which
I get it, but
it's extremely gamble territory, I think,
Mhm.
especially at 1 hour and 21 minutes in. But I can't blame him, especially watching Azure go through this awful, awful room.
Oh, yes. But, making pretty short work of it.
Yeah, he got every skip, I think.
But, yeah.
Cool.
They're not too hard once you know what to do, luckily.
For sure.
Um, with the jerk birds, you know, if they're facing you on flat ground, you can get
Hmm.
around that first one if you're really fast, but if you don't make it in time, you can do the, like, turnaround trick that you can do on the third one.
Yeah, to block it. Yeah, which is so
Yeah.
cool. First of all,
Mhm.
but
And then the others, you just need to as long as you're still on the stairs and not the landing, just hold up to walk, not run, and you'll miss the enemy.
yeah, that's a problem I have a lot is knowing when to walk.
Yeah, it can be tricky. Plus, like, the more behind you feel, the more you forget to walk when you need to walk.
Absolutely, and while you're racing, those nerves, I can only
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm thinking about this from the runner's perspective. I think starting the game off with Pendant and Chrono Trigger probably planted the seed of, you know, Death Peak is going to be our go mode. That's going to be the fastest way to get to the end of the
Mm,
game. That's what we want.
yeah,
So
that's
I'm thinking,
entirely possible.
yeah, even if he's aware, I mean, that he has a go mode through Frog, that like, that's not the one we're going for. That's the slow
Yeah,
way.
it's
So
so easy to convince yourself, "Oh no, my
yeah,
opponent's totally got the clone."
absolutely. Well, when you almost start the seed off 2/3 of the way in, I don't blame him. I can
Mhm.
understand
You know, for all we know, the clone is just on Mount Woe or something.
that.
Like, disclaimer, I'm not looking at the spoiler log, so I don't know.
Yeah, no clue. It could be Moonstone.
It could be.
I think Denadoro is my favorite area in the game visually, just because the water effects look so
Yeah.
good.
The water effects are nice, and the leaves are really pretty too.
Yeah, I would hang out there. I'd have a picnic there.
Well, the mountains are nice, even if not everyone agrees.
Oh yeah, that's that. What are those creatures called? Oddwalls? Killwalls?
Oh, the Killwallas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a strange folk. Just another Chrono Trigger ism. That's like, who
Mhm.
knows what's happening here, but we love it. So, Masa and Mune Phase 1, that's not randomized, right?
It is never randomized, no.
So we'll
We
see
just
what
need
what he rolls here.
okay. Kale making, short work of some of those battle rooms, getting that last
Yeah,
fight skip.
very, very nice. It's a tough one.
Okay. Here's
Where's Hecker?
Hecarim. Probably won't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Let's see what the winches are dropping over on Kale's side. I missed the first one. A glow helm. Okay, so
Oh,
not
yeah.
nothing that cool.
Yeah. So I also learned embarrassingly recently, like 2 weeks ago, that Isla doesn't have a tail. That's just part of her scarf thing.
That took me a long time to realize. Yeah, it's just like her fur. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was so weird. I was like, okay, she runs on all fours, like I get it, but nobody else in her time period has a tail. Why does she?
Because she's the chief, clearly.
Clearly, yeah. I don't know if it was some kind of like Dragon Ball reference, like she's a Saiyan or something.
Oh yeah, no idea.
No, it's
I
just
mean,
not a tail was the answer.
Yep.
I will say in my defense that it was like clearly meant to look like a tail to underscore her beast-like, cat-like nature, but
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, we're gonna come see who is in Magus's spot as Hecarim goes down over on that side. Kale taking the bat fight, I guess. Which I think you just have to turn around for and they'll catch you.
They'll catch you, yeah. It's not bad, it's 1 flare. Or 1 mega bomb, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 damage. I hope it's palette swap Magus. I don't know why. That tickles me. Alright, let's see what this Asumune item check is. Or I guess this is the tilt check.
Yeah, it would normally be the hilt, or I guess the blade.
I
The
guess the
hilt
blade.
would be the one that
Right.
Frog kept. The
It's
jerky.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well. You know, it looks like it's the hilt when it's in the ground, and then it becomes. I don't know.
Okay, I guess Magus is Luca.
Magus is Luca. Ben is Gory.
Mm-hmm. It's like we're prepping to absorb some fire elemental attacks.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, doing some sealed chest check and jerky prep. Tuna's
Yep,
side.
may as well. I will say with the Magus fight though is typically, I mean, I guess put it this way, best practice, which is to say you can't do it on every seed, but I think you can do it on most seeds, is to not allow him or her or them to use their big final finisher attack.
Yeah, just bursting down.
Yeah, you'll get a clue. Normally during the barrier shift phase, every attack will be counterattacked, like just now, even a physical attack with the barrier shift, and that element is what you have to hit him with next, or you can use physical. And then eventually you won't get a counterattack, and that is when you can start spamming the same element, and then when you get the so-and-so risks casting a spell message, all of the barriers are dropped, and you just go wild. And hopefully, in all of that time, you can just deal enough damage to finish it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Especially in Jets, when you are stronger than you would be in vanilla.
Yeah.
Busting through that rage timer much easier.
And over on the right side, where we've got Genodome, which is, certainly always interesting to see.
This is a lot of commitment to avoid Magus's castle.
Yes, I really hope for MrScruffNinjaTuna's sake that something like a clone is here.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think this would be such an incredible race if he grabs a clone from this.
Yeah. I think Kale would still be ahead, because really all Kale has to do is zoom through Zeal, maybe do a teeny bit of shopping, Ocean Palace, Lavos, and,
And he's golden.
Yeah, here we've got, at least needing to finish Genodome, and then Death Peak and the Omen.
Yeah. And I think, I'm sorry, you mentioned earlier, which one is actually faster overall, Omen, or is it Ocean Palace?
I think it's generally agreed Ocean Palace is faster, especially via Tyranno Lair. But
Is Azure gonna wipe?
Well, yeah, it doesn't look so good. Okay.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, it's fine. It was something important, and I was watching the conveyor belt, so yeah. But, I've seen it argued lately that Magus's Palace can be quicker than the Black Omen route too, but
Sorry, did you mean the Ocean Palace or like Magus Castle and
like the Magus's Castle and Ocean Palace
both
combination
together?
taking
Wow.
less time than, yeah, Death Peak and Black Omen.
Huh. I never considered that that could be the case. I
Yeah,
guess
I
Death
think it
Peak does
might
take time, yeah.
yeah. I'm sure it does depend, again, on individual
Right.
player
Of
skill
course.
and what kind of,
Yeah, what they're working with
yeah.
character-wise, tech-wise, item-wise. Of course, that makes sense. But in my head, for some reason, I think of Death Peak as like very short, but in reality, it's short, but it's not like
It
it's Truce Canyon short.
yeah, exactly. Yep, always fight those debuggist robots right away
My favorite
because,
thing ever.
if you don't, the stupid, like, floor Roomba bot will run away when you get there, and you'll have to go back and get him.
Yeah, that silly guy. He's got some fun AI that's extremely a pleasure and not at all annoying to work with.
Definitely not.
But I have to point it out every time I watch a race. But the progression of enemies from bugger to debuggist is the funniest thing anyone's ever written.
It is pretty funny.
Sometimes I wonder why they bothered making more games after this one came out.
Right, this one's basically perfect.
Yeah, just retire the industry, frankly.
Just done.
Azure's okay, it's caught up. But boy, these little stream hiccups are coming in at real spicy times sometimes.
Yeah, just like, "Oh, are you okay?"
Barrier change into geyser. That's nice.
Yeah. Oof. Might get Ayla, yeah.
Yeah. On the topic of death, does Green Dream work like it says it revives you once, but it's once per fight, right?
Yeah, once per fight.
So does that count for like, for example, for like Lavos or Zeal, where it's like a multi-phase, different bosses? Does it work for each different part?
Yes, each different part is a different fight.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like, if it ends and you get experience points and everything like that, or your drops, then it's over, and the Green Dream resets.
Oh yeah, and you do get because I often get really great items and I'm like, wish I could equip this. But
I
yeah,
had one the other day. I don't remember if it was like an official one or a practice, but I think Lavos 3 dropped. Oh god, something I'd been looking for all games. Might have been Prism Specs. I'm like, really now?
yeah,
Just don't bother.
One final like I hate you to the player. Okay, so
Okay, there's
now
the risks casting a spell.
yeah, I hit the
No
ridge
more
charming.
barriers.
Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, Magus's HP in vanilla is 4 6s because he's like
Of course
the
it
demon lord.
is. Yeah.
Gosh, here it's something like, forget if it's like 8,000 to 14,000 or 10,000 to 13,000 or something like that, but it's more, so you have to be careful.
Be careful. That makes sense. But these robo tackles are 1,600-ish each hit. That's
Yep.
So
Yeah.
So in Jets, obviously you don't have to fight Magus here at Magus's castle. Oh, they got through it. Nice.
Very good.
But the I think the character that replaces Magus actually determines the final move because he doesn't cast. I don't remember what is his
Oh.
actual final move?
Dark matter would be what it would cast if he was Magus, and yeah, that is correct. Luca will cast Flare. I think Chrono and Robo will do Luminaire since Robo has Shock. Ayla will do an energy release, and I think that's the same one that the Outer Lavos does to you. I've never actually had Magus Ayla do it to me.
Energy release. Okay.
But it's non-elemental, which is why that's the one that
Oh.
scares people.
Can't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and Marl and Frog will cast Hexagon Mist, but
Okay.
it's not as scary as when Quingzeal does it.
Okay, well that's good to know. Yeah.
Excuse me. Okay, we're bringing the robot around the long way.
Robo Wranglin, everybody's favorite part of Chrono.
Yep.
Oh, getting magic.
Yep.
Okay.
Kale jumped into that gate.
Yeah, let's do it. Getting magic just for Luca. I like it.
Yeah, probably worth it, especially with Ayla and Robo. You want that fire too for your dual attacks.
Oh yeah, because you said Robo Tackle.
Yeah,
Wait,
the fire tackle is Robo Tackle and fire 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fire 2. Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, ice tackle is ice 1, and I think that's why it's confusing.
Interesting. Yeah, that is. Oh.
I think it's a Jet's change, but ice tackle's powered up, so it's almost as good as fire tackle.
Cool.
So if you have that, it is still fairly worth using.
It's really hard not to hum along.
Yeah, it really is.
Ooh, looking for the epoch. Or as I like to call it, the 3-pock. So, yeah, so like you said, zip through Zeal grocery shop and hit up the palace.
Yep, we'll see what the new shop's got. It always at least has an amulet because you can't get Magus. Okay, I guess stopping in the year 600, probably also for some kind of shopping or otherwise.
So you don't. This has confused me in the past. Even though you're going through the Ocean Palace, when you go through Magus's castle, you don't need the ruby knife. Is that right?
That is right, and that's a recent change. Either in 3.0 or 3.1. Especially given that the ruby knife was required, the Magus's castle route was just it was just completely unanimous that was the worst go mode, and nobody wanted to take it unless they absolutely had to, and I think I agree with that.
That makes sense. I can see an argument, I guess, because it's, like you said before, the go mode for that one is 2 items and 1 character, so having the ruby knife makes it 3, but yeah, it still would easily be the worst one. All right, Quarters of Time. Best song ever.
The problem is if you pick up, there's a speed tab up here very quickly and then leave the room, it stops the music.
Oh,
and that
no.
we might be seeing that here.
Oh yeah, it's quiet now. Let's check in the new shop. Amulet. Okay.
Elixirs, hyper ethers. Okay, I mean, not too bad. And there's a shop on the side as well that usually isn't as good. But I mean, sometimes it has exactly what you need. It just doesn't have like amulets and mega elixirs and gold studs and like the top counters. Yeah, the top counter is like the one you would get if you went through the Omen.
Okay. I didn't realize this actually, that there were 2 shops here. This is cool too. Ooh, lapises. That's a good find. Ooh. Amulet, I mean, it's super duper expensive, but it's also a pretty cool thing to find because they don't have Magus, and going through Ocean Palace means they fight lavas.
Yes, and
you all day long.
Yep, Lavos will do obstacle. Actually, the first two Lavoses will do obstacle on you, which I think normally causes chaos, but in Jets of Time, the status effect is randomized. Could be anything as minor as poison, and anything as awful as stop, and you don't want to get your whole team stopped.
Oh yeah, that's a run killer.
Mm-hmm. So having
All
at
right.
least one amulet is nice.
Forging the Masamune.
Yep.
I guess he has resigned himself to going through me.
Mm-hmm. It looked like the jerky was I think it was a Shiva Edge, which I don't know if he's going to use Chrono. That would be good if he was using Chrono.
Right.
Power-wise, I believe that is Chrono's second best weapon. A lot of people really like the Swallow because it gives him some speed, either +2 or +3. I think the Swallow is only like the 4th or 5th strongest, but
that speed is nothing to laugh at, though.
yeah. And I mean the power isn't too much lower than anything but the Rainbow. The Rainbow
Right.
is just ridiculously
It's cheating
powerful.
with
So
the 70%
yeah,
crit, yeah. Or
right.
70, 90? I don't know. It's
It's
something.
70.
Yeah.
His new weapon that's in the DS version and the Steam version, I think that one has a 90 crit rate. But
Wow.
I'm like, what? There's new ultimate weapons? That's fake. I don't believe in that.
Yeah. How can you do better than Rainbow, you know? Okay, Golem. Fight.
Okay.
Is this where Golem twins normally were? I always mix up these fights because they're all in the same place.
This one's Dalton, but it's not Dalton Plus. It's just Dalton. And I think he behaves similarly to a golem. He might just... See, I should remember this because my partner is playing vanilla and we just did this fight last night, so I really, really should remember this. But I think Dalton was mostly counterattacking with Iron Orb. I think he mostly just tries to like keep cutting your HP in half and then burps on you in hopes of a wipe, and yeah.
Yeah, I think Dalton one is that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a point in the game where he sicks a golem on you here, but I guess since the Ocean Palace gate is open, I keep thinking, well, Dalton's the one that should be guarding the door right now, so...
I actually missed the end of it because the Mother Brain fight went so fast, but Genodome's item check was Moonstone.
Yep.
So I can definitely see why Tuna decided to just go for the go mode. But hey, he almost completed 100% C.
Mm-hmm. So gosh, what haven't we seen? I guess what we haven't seen is what's behind the Moonstone. And we haven't seen Mount Woe.
Right.
And Reptite Lair. Because that would be behind the gate key.
That makes sense, yeah.
Mm.
So it's probably like gate key on Mount Woe, and then clone in Reptile here? Oh no, there's still Dreamstone.
Yeah, gosh. Well, I guess... Well, Reptite Lair can't have the gate key, because then you couldn't get it.
Yeah, so I think that has to be Mount Woe, because that's the... Although, yeah, we're missing one check. I don't know where it
was. I think you're right that it would have to be Mount Woe, because you'd need the gate key to have prehistory to power up the Moonstone to get whatever's behind it. Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay. So then what's behind Moonstone is probably Dreamstone.
Probably, yeah.
Dreamstone or clone, and then the other one is that Reptile Lair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We figured it out. Who needs a spoiler log? Okay, so while I think Black Omen clearly has the better music than Ocean Palace, in my opinion, the Lavos fights have better music than Zeal. But if you have Magus in your party, then you get to hear Magus' theme.
It's true.
instead of
not
generic
really...
boss theme.
Yeah, he's not necessarily the best call for that fight, so it's such a hard like decision.
Yeah.
Just because most of his stuff does spread damage, and you don't want to attack those hands if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. He does hit pretty decently physically, but yeah, if you don't have to use like regular attacks, you don't. That said, for me, it's not a tough decision at all because I'm not a racer, so I always go for the best music.
That's fair. And I will say that while I find the Ocean Palace, not the Ocean Palace, I find the Black Omen theme to be like, more of a jam than the Ocean Palace theme. It's much more fun. The Ocean Palace theme is definitely like pretty scary.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very appropriate for what's supposed to be going on in the game right now.
Absolutely agree. I mean, I would never say anything bad about the soundtrack in this game for sure, but I just think the absolute gall to put a jazzy jam like the Black Omen theme as the final dungeon to the game is such a great, mad respect for that one.
It's like it's taunting you.
That's the exact vibe I get from it. It comes out of nowhere, and you see it, and it's like, oh, it's playing happy music. What does that mean?
Like what? All right, we are through Atropos Slash over here on the Tuna side.
Azure going down these staircases. I think he's doing a little grinding too.
Yep, this is the grind spot. Yep. Looks like Luca's getting Fire 2 last, which is never fun. Never. And to be honest, I'm sure Kale is a little nervous right now because he can't see the other side of the race, but right. I think at the end, it's unlikely he'll regret investing in his characters like this.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm a baby seed player, so I usually try to hit 30 before I do any of the final bosses. He's at 7 right now, so
I think that's wise. I usually hit about 30, honestly, at the grind spot myself, because then you get higher as you go through.
Right. Yeah.
And then, to be honest, 32 if my gear is crap. Because I've learned some hard lessons.
Yeah, you never know. I like as I've mentioned before, I've had one too many really brutal hexagon misses when I have no water absorption, and it's like, okay. The final boss is never really when you want to learn that you're underpowered.
No.
Definitely pretty nice to go through Ocean Palace with Ayla with Dino Tail, because you get her HP low, you can cream many encounters without a problem.
Yep. Just about all of them.
Yeah.
Alright, and the giant space flea, aka Yakra 13, is down.
Space flea, that's great. Okay, looks like Azure is done grinding.
Gonna move forward here. MrScruffNinjaTuna is making really short work of these bosses, and I think if he'd come in here right after Hecarim Cave, he would have had a fighting chance, but at this point, I think it's really, unless Kale just, monumentally screws up, which hopefully, I know commentator's curse is a thing, but probably he will not, actually screw up that badly.
Do you think mentioning commentator's curse makes it worse or cancels it out? I guess
I don't know.
But yeah, I find myself in agreement here. I would love to see a really close race, but it's hard to imagine where the time gains could be had. Of course, Azure could end up wiping with some bosses, but it seems unlikely. Yep, taking the fireball damage here to get Ayla's health low.
Indeed. I will point out that if you're gonna get your HP down this way, just stand right next to the statue. The animation's quicker.
Oh,
because you're sitting through, goodness knows how many of those.
Pro strats. Aren't you racing on ladder this season? You're leaking strats.
I'm in the ladder race, yeah. I didn't join this tournament just because, I was too busy on... It's so tight, the schedule, in certain days. But,
tight, It's been a blast.
you know, I think most speedrun communities just share
Yeah.
strats, and yeah.
The term I learned for it in robotics in high school is cooperation, which I like.
Ah, okay, I like it.
Okay.
Right, and here's the save point before the elevator, which I admit I sometimes skip, and will probably continue skipping until the day it burns me, and then I'll never skip it again. That's usually how these things
Fair
go.
enough.
But
Yeah. I'm the kind of player who, well, maybe not in Jets, but in general, just I need to save every time I see a save point all the time.
I just don't like going for that one because there's monsters in the room that chase you, so I'm just like, nope.
Yeah.
I'll just risk it.
Makes sense. Okay, running from these fights, which also makes sense for sure.
I think that's probably the only one you can escape from.
Yeah. I just, yeah, I mean, at this point, he's probably feeling pretty good about his party, but
yeah,
I would go for the XP because I'm a baby, as I said.
Sometimes those scouters have good drops too, so it could be worth checking.
Oh, that's definitely true. Randomized enemy drops can be a trip. I get speed tabs off the most random things sometimes. I'm like, oh.
Right, and then you have to stop and say, do I grind off this? Do I not? Like,
right, yeah. Look,
power tab off that fight.
It's not as good as a speed tab, but not mad about it.
Take it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see with an Ayla. Here comes the Dino Tail.
Yep.
So, Dino Tail, not my favorite animation. Probably my least. It looks like a big tongue, and that just doesn't do it for me. Ironic, because Frog Squash, which is the like sister tech of it, is my favorite.
Frog Squash has a much better animation.
It's very
Ayla,
cool.
Ayla is probably the more useful character in Jets, but
right.
You know, all hail Hypnotoad.
Yeah. All hail Hypnotoad.
Mr. Scruff hidden the guillotine room over here, or whatever they are.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Like I always figure, I mean, clearly they're bladed.
Blade, yeah.
But they look like anchors.
They do.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. I don't think Ozzy has really thought through a lot of it. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he has not.
Scouter skip. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I find
very
that
nice.
Really hard to do.
It's tricky. Like, once you get it, you've pretty much got it. But
it's good.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to get back to the switch than it is to get back in front of them.
Absolutely, think. Yeah. It's trivial, but the other way, you know, you have timing to worry about and everything. But you can just run, right? Not even stuff.
Yeah, it's not that bad. That's another one you have to walk though. If you run, they will catch you.
Very counterintuitive.
Mr. Scruff in the basement as well. I gotta start asking players if they fall down on purpose. I'm never sure.
Right, yeah. Maybe we can ask in the...
Yeah.
What's it called?
The interview.
Yes, thank you. I have only Chrono Trigger words in my brain right now.
That's
An
fair.
interview is not one of them.
Mega Elixir in that final chest, which is excellent.
Yeah, that's like extreme clutch. Is that like planted or...
So that chest is random. It is always something really good. Like, I think, we can ask Raster Cecil, the dev, for sure, but what I believe is that the chests have sort of tiers to them, and, you know, if your chest is X tier, then it can have Y items in it, and so that is one of the best tier of chests.
That makes sense. Because, I find that I get Mega Elixirs out of that one more often, and, I mean... That's just a big win. I very, very often get through seas without any Mega Elixirs. Getting one right there is good feeling. Okay, here's regular / twin, which isn't that bad. I I think Scruff is not falling on purpose.
Yeah, at this
Definitely.
point. You know, if they fall once,
Right.
there is the treasure down there is pretty good, but
It's pretty good, yeah. And falling once helps you figure out how to, you just walk against your hole and you know you're not gonna fall in.
that's true. I have a little image guide I made for getting through this room without a hole, though. I should post it. You just gotta look at the floor pattern and you can do it.
Right, yeah. Slash using his signature move on the party.
Mhm.
Signature move that Chrono learned first.
Yep. I mean, I definitely feel like stylistically the vanilla Slash fight is set up to be this like big, you know, let us meet with our katanas as men
Yeah.
showdown.
For sure. Except he's like, is he a man? He's kind of like a duck monster, like a
Well,
cat, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, in terms of his gender,
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't.
for sure.
I don't know what species.
I'm just
he is.
really stuck on his face, I guess.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I do really like, you know, Slash and Flea being the like, oh, I'm the swordsman and I'm the magic caster.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Slash fight, not too painful.
Yeah,
Back
real
to the
smooth.
save point.
Alright, we are all ready for Lava's Outer.
Yep. Mr. Scruff in the winch room now, as I call it.
That's a good name for it.
This battle with the outlaws and the groupies is slightly annoying because I think water is the only element that you can use to wipe the whole screen at once, unless you can actually hit them with physical and do enough damage, but
Interesting.
that's difficult.
Well, he does have water too.
Yep.
Wow,
May or may not
3k
enough,
off
but-
that robo tackle.
Wow. Yeah, this robo is ripped.
And now he's at a he's at a 2, which is worse than 5, but on that last digit on his HP there, it's still 2,000 from the flare. Yeah, I think if I were Azure, I would be assuming you can handle the. I didn't get to check to see what the status protection is, but assuming he can handle that, I think he's
Yep.
out here.
Well, here comes obstacle. And it's lock. Okay. That's annoying, but since it doesn't rob you of your turn, you can, still use an item. It's not that bad.
It's just in this case 2-turn loss here. Not so bad. And so definitely correct me if I'm wrong. I know obstacle is the same status effect throughout your seed, but can the runners roll different obstacle effects?
No, if they have the same seed, they're playing with the same obstacle.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean there are certain things that can be different, so it's worth
like
asking.
I think elevators. Somebody told me they can be different.
Yes.
Different number of encounters.
Yes. The Black Omen elevators can have between 0 and 3 encounters on each, and that's just totally random.
Totally random. Okay. That Lava's Outer went down very quickly.
Yes, that was really smooth. It didn't even get its last attack off.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I really like this little run up into Lavos Inner as well. This is such a unique idea.
Super creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about the sirens going by.
Honestly, I can't hear them.
Okay, good.
And even if I could, they would be super thematic for this boss fight, so
That's true.
okay.
Heal beam, looks like. Not a bad call.
Yeah.
Lavos's arms will shoot you with these little, some people call them boomerangs, those.
The banana things, yeah.
Yeah.
They
And,
hurt a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage, especially after he's just hit you with his Doors of Doom. And so I think the question is often like, well, can I kill one or both of the arms before those happen? And if not, can I just heal through it so that the sickles don't kill me?
It looks like, yeah, just a little bit too much damage on the left arm to sync up the arm kill, but the right one should be weak enough that it should go down before it causes too many damage. I hope. Maybe I cursed them.
Probably it'll be okay.
Flare for security.
Engaging Luca on Mr. Scruff's side. I mean, honestly, his characters are very well built up by now, and I'm sure that he's gonna make short work of the rest of this. It's just all that looking around for another go mode.
Yeah, really, it hurts my heart that it didn't pay off.
Yeah.
That's I mean, he had to have known he was taking a gamble, so. Oh, that tackle miss.
Oh, I hate it when Robo Tackle misses.
Conceptually, the concept doesn't really make sense to me. You missed that.
Like, why did you trip? What did you trip on?
Players seem to be split on this, but between Inner Lavos and Lavos Core, which music is your favorite?
Oh, I actually think, for me, Inner Lavos, that's the one that like really gets me like pumped and excited. And the Lavos Core one, I mean, I do think the Lavos Core music is really appropriate for the fact it's a puzzle boss.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
an 8.
This is the exciting one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mr. Scruff just wiping that Luca Magus fight with Crisis Arm double hits. I mean, that is impressive damage for sure.
I think I have to give it to Lavos Core. They're both really good songs, and I agree with everything you're saying, but something about the staging of that song and having the music pan from left to right.
That's true.
Really gets me.
I feel like that's a really subtle clue to like pay attention to all the pieces of it.
Yeah, definitely could be. I do love, you know, on the topic of Black Omen being like a kind of oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought, but what I was gonna say is that I really love that Lavos Core is like a puzzle boss that's like a trick. I think what I was going to say to tie it into was what I was talking about before, about Black Omen's music being not what you'd expect from a final dungeon. Okay, Lavos Snare goes down, easy.
There we go. Let's see if Kale gets the menu skip up here, or menu glitch, or whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of success with it, waiting for the screen to turn black and then holding X. Works for me like every time.
Yeah, I usually just go off the music, and honestly, I close my eyes, and that's not to be badass, it's so I don't like psych myself out, like waiting for the right frame, because I can listen for the
I mean,
you.
You say that, but like doing that by sound is totally badass. You can take
It's
credit for it.
it's not badass. It's easier.
whatever works.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it is nice that there are multiple ways to do things. So
For sure.
just play to your strength. Either if it's easier for you to get it when the second measure of the song starts, do that. If it's easier for you to watch, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See how many hits it takes for Golem to go down over here, too. Probably not very many.
Yeah. He's got a beefy party. Wow, that is a very quick left bit kill.
Yes. Oh.
So I think left bit immune to magic or absorb the magic.
Yes, left bit absorbs all magic.
Yeah, so you can't just throw your flares out right away.
No, you gotta, if you want that thing dead, you gotta beat it up, and
Oh, wow.
very nice.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna wager here that the right bit goes down before it revives the other ones with this damage.
It does have a lot of HP, so I'm not, like, positive, but it might. I mean...
It's like it's 20k. That is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Robo's got a 9.
Yeah.
5k.
5k. Whew.
Beautiful.
Only need a couple of those.
This is when you're extremely happy to have Robo's Ribbon and get that extra speed.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the Sunshades benefit too. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, his has Sunshades.
Yeah.
I think the hero medal for Frog has Prism Specs effect.
That's right.
But I sometimes mix them up, so.
Yeah. Looks like my wager was wrong, but I'm sure that it'll be real close here.
Yeah, this isn't going to take much longer.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go, GG Kale. And look at all that nice gear dropping now that you can't use it.
I missed it. What was it?
Oh, there was like a rainbow helm. I think there might have been a mermaid cap too.
Of course. Well, 207. Pretty nice, considering. Pretty nice.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's see if Kale wants to come in for an interview. Let's see if Batsy remembers how Discord works. Kale, hello!
Welcome. Congratulations.
Yeah, GG.
Oh, he's in Ocean Palace. Cool.
Yeah. So,
I am
yeah.
unhappy with some of my mistakes, but I made it.
You did make it.
You did. Honestly, from the spectator's point of view, I thought that was a fairly okay race for you. I mean, you got your go mode and you went for it, and hey.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that crisis arm
Oh, beautiful.
is just... We are seeing, actually, on both sides, this amazing display of what the crisis arm can do, so hopefully everyone's paying attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a quarter of right bit's health in a single robo tackle is a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if I've seen that much damage ever before outside of Greatest on Son of Sunfire. 9999 damage. Almost 60 to hit.
I
That's
mean, like, I think we're talking like Antipode 3 with multiple prism specs or like Omega Flare levels of
right.
damage. I've seen it in jets, but it's rare.
Yeah, and Robo Tackle is so cheap.
Nurse incoming.
Mm-hmm.
So
But,
I really wanted to know how you felt getting Chrono Trigger and Pendant relatively close together compared to what Go Mode ended up actually being.
It's one of the reasons I did Desert after picking up Ayla, or before picking up Ayla, just in hopes of getting anything else.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. No. I think that's understandable. A lot of people are a little weary of that Go mode.
I'm seeing everything that MrScruffNinjaTuna has, so I'm assuming Woe has Pendant, and the other two items are in Future and Geno.
Mr. Scruff actually did
Woe...
Geno.
Oh wow.
Geno was Moonstone. So I think we determined that Woe had to be Gate Key. Is that right, Betsy?
I think we determined the gate key has to be either behind the Moonstone or Mount Woe, because the gate key can't be in the Reptite layer, which is the other check that we haven't seen.
But don't you need Gate
am I wrong?
to get Moonstone check?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So yes, we did figure it out.
That's
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, no, Mr. Scruff. I mean, his team is amazing. He's doing a great job with that, but I think he really, really didn't want that Go mode because he had it not too long after you. The big difference was your early foray into Hecarim Cave, actually. Yeah. But then he kept going for quite a while after having the pieces of the sword.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. A gamble that didn't pay off for him, but it paid off for you. I bet you're happy.
Yeah, I get to go on to face Kiyu Katsuki.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, and that will be on Wednesday the 10th, correct?
Yes, at 5:30?
5:30. Okay, that sounds right.
I'll have to double check, but...
Yes. So, yeah, everyone look forward to that. Let me check if... I think Scruff is still racing. So as long as he's still racing, we'll commentate, but
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, GG Kale. You know, not about a run.
For sure.
I didn't like having to go to the bridge 3 times, but and then my Magus mistake of I went too early on the flare.
Yeah, understandable.
Definitely. The bridge especially was, like, I can only imagine how painful.
I forgot which mutant it was, and that I had to kill the bottom as well.
Yeah, no, that's like the one thing with Giga Mutant. If you don't do that, then it just frickin' kills you, basically.
I totally always mix them up myself too. It's the bottom gets real cranky without the top.
Yep.
Alright, well, GG's.
GG's.
I'm gonna head out.
Okay. Alright, great race, and have a good night.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, and we've got Mr. Scruff on the elevator. Not doing the frog squash technique here, which, I mean, he must have, because frog squash was really early, right?
Yeah, it was like the second
It
tech.
was, yeah. So just slowly beating the scouts to death.
Yeah, his frog's at full health, so frog squash would do 1 damage, I think.
If that. I'm not actually sure it's required to do 1. These things have really high defense, too.
That's true.
When you frog squash or dino tail the entire screen on some of the other fights, you'll see how much more damage it does to the other things on screen.
Right. Is it a Is it physical?
It's physical, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was non-elemental for some reason. Oh, yeah, physical. Oh, Tailspin is the one that's
Yes.
non-elemental.
Yep. This first fight with the elevator going is the one that you can safely use any element on, which I think a lot of people choose to do for like MP management reasons.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to have 60 MP on your Frog Squash or Dino Tail character than it is to have 80.
Picking up a Valkyrie here, of course.
When it's too late to even sell them. I don't even know if you can sell Valkyries. A lot of the final weapons can't be sold. But...
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you can or not. Technically though, between Lavos outer and inner, you can leave.
That is true.
You really, really, really wanted to sell stuff and shop. You can do that, right? But then you, on your way back in, you have to watch a long cutscene.
It's true. And then you can't save. I feel like that's the big thing.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I've heard of people doing that, you know, just feeling like I can't take Lavos right now, I'm going to lose on purpose, and I'm going to go shopping, and I can see how that would work.
Yeah, that's an interesting tactic, for sure. I checked the bucket in the end of time recently, because I was like, I wonder if you can just... if you can really just skip everything, but no, they have disabled the bucket, which is pretty smart.
Yes.
Can't just skip to the final boss whenever you're ready.
Ooh, getting those counter attacks,
Ooh, I hate that.
which are usually a little painful.
Yeah, that's why Dino Tail Frog Squash strats here are so great, because you can just kill everything in one go. You don't have to worry about typing at all, or counters from these scouters who are a real pain. And having to use Water 1, which has like the slowest animation of all time.
Seriously. Alright, and that's the elevator.
Very nice.
I'm sure the rest of this won't take very long. Because, you know, outside of, excuse me, outside of not having the Frog Squash strats for the elevator ready, I think very little is gonna stand up to
this team of incredibly beefy characters. Worth pointing out again that this frog has Hero Metal and Grand Leon.
Yep, this is definitely a pretty good display of good ways to use Frog and Robo too. You know, not everyone's always up on Robo.
That's true.
So,
yeah, I think it helps a lot when you find a ribbon.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely feels, you know, very, very easily makes up for his weakness.
I skip on that side.
Very nice, yeah.
Well, you don't have to go to both at once. It's okay if you hit the middle by accident. Just once they're both hit, you... Okay, cool.
Phew. Saved us a encounter there. while I'm here, I might as well say it, but I don't know why JRPG bosses put stuff like this in their dungeons. Just like don't have the switches all be right there.
Yeah. I mean, at least like use passwords. I mean,
Passwords,
we're probably still gonna find them, but at least you tried.
At least you tried, yeah, exactly. 2/2 Furies.
Ooh. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, I think he used. Oh no, he opted not to use water there.
3,
Thankfully,
8, not bad. Yeah.
And Slash is immune, right?
He is, although I don't remember if it's bubble hit, and probably again somebody can tell me, but bubble snap rather. But there is a tech that uses water one, but that I think might be non-elemental.
I think it is the bubble attacks because they first of all
just did a crap ton of damage. So yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't see that first digit, but it may have been a 9 as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially because Robo's last digit is a 9. But yeah, I think they were talking about in chat earlier that bubble hits are, for some reason, non-elemental.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand why you wouldn't think that.
Right.
But nonetheless.
I guess at the end of the day, if you really want to analyze it, like, the bubble pops and then Robo hits the enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's the logic. I don't know how much they were thinking about this kind of stuff, but
we're just using the bubble to take advantage of gravity.
Yeah. But then at the same time, like, that probably is what they were thinking because it's somewhat consistent with like Falcon Hit. I think does not really use Ayla's like it doesn't multiply Ayla's abilities, right? It's just a factor on Chrono's.
Yeah, that might be right, because some of them are like that, where it's just one character does all the numerical work.
Right, yeah, I think because she throws Chrono and then he does the actual hitting.
Exactly.
I don't know. But it is interesting when it's something like Fire Sword and Ice Sword, how it's like part physical and part magical.
Yeah, I like how you can take advantage of that in this game.
Right. It's a pretty deep game. There's a lot of text in this game.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like, the older this game gets and the more games that I play, I come to appreciate the, like, work, really just the detail that went into Chrono Trigger.
Absolutely.
You don't see that a lot anymore. I mean,
I think to be totally fair to modern games, wow, another 999 hit. To be totally fair to modern games, like sometimes it's harder to notice the details because everything is so detailed. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. What I feel like you don't see is these like games that are sort of small in scope but rich in detail.
Yes.
That's what I'm missing, because there are lots of modern games that I really love, but I miss stuff like this.
Oh yeah, I'm
like,
totally
why can't we have it both ways?
Absolutely, yeah. I like big games from time to time, but I also like one of the things when we were talking about how Chrono gets so many upgrades earlier, I was thinking about another great detail that just shows how much love we put into this game is that all of your characters, or most of your characters anyway, like their weapons change cosmetically, which is like absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I love that. I think at least the contemporary Final Fantasies did that, but like admittedly in Chrono Trigger it looks a lot smoother, and you can tell they really put a lot of effort into that.
Right.
And I love how, I mean, gosh, all of Chrono's swords have like
that
they don't all
effect.
Yeah, the like animation effect.
Right.
You know, the rainbow one has that like pretty pink and blue, and they're all different. I love it.
Cool. Yeah, and Luca's like are all. It's very nice.
Yeah.
And there's like I didn't look at it until recently, but the table of how many triple texts are in the game is like I don't think there's actually one for every 3 characters possible, but there are a lot of them, and most people are never going to see them.
Yeah. No, there's one for every party that includes Chrono, but not including Magus. So however many that is, and then the 5
Okay.
rock triple techs.
Right, yeah. Which is, yeah, it's a lot, but it's
Mhm.
like, I would assume most people are not going to see a lot of the ones that don't have Chrono in them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those rocks are pretty well hidden.
Mhm. And who
I
doesn't
mean,
want to use Chrono, you know?
right. Alright. Lavos 2 fight, I mean, I hate to say it, but the only really bad thing at this point is that Mr. Scruff is behind, because
Yeah.
obviously this isn't gonna last very long.
Yeah. Lava's is going to take a real beating.
Uzi Punch the
Although-
center.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that because you got to take the arms out to make the center vulnerable, which is
Mhm.
slightly similar to the core.
It's probably just a little bit of a sequencing issue, expecting the arms to be down.
Yeah.
Happens. Another lovely long animation. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that much damage though. That's kind of awesome. Okay, here comes obstacle.
Yep. 1 heal left.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's, okay. That's very painful.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's pretty strong, so
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't do this.
Yeah. I think if anybody could solo this, it's gonna be Robo here. So.
Mhm. Yeah.
One
I suppose the
heal
Frog's,
and-
yeah. If Frog's Cure 2 does take off status effects like Marl's does in Jets, then Frog might have been the one to toss that too.
Oh, true. Yeah.
We'll get-
Otherwise, we're just gonna punch him down. Desperately searching in the dual text for something he can use. I think his Crisis Arm Robo Tackles are still gonna be the play here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Uzi punches are. I'm not convinced they'd be stronger. I don't remember what a plain Robo Tackle was doing, but the fire tackles were breaking like 6k.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, Shadow Doomblaze. Not fun to see, but HP's high, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And luckily, Robo has heal beam, so. That did 0 damage? Wait.
Because Robo got knocked down to 360 even,
and 0. Yep.
Gotta watch out for that multiplier.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate for sure.
Mm. Okay, he's good.
Yep. Greatest and Flea Vest, awesome. Is Greatest worth like is it still like by and far, like is it always the best item to use on Luca? Because I know it doesn't do half damage.
I suppose that probably short of the Wonder Shot, yes.
Okay.
The Wonder Shot, I mean, the Wonder Shot doesn't always do really high damage.
Yeah.
But I think it does. You get good multipliers on the Wonder Shot often enough that it would be the best weapon to put on her.
Okay, so like the average expected value of that is like pretty good.
Yeah. And then especially if you're running her with Prism Specs anyway, that helps a lot, so.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna always be doing at least 50% extra.
Yeah. That was my thing in vanilla. I never took the Prism Specs off of her, like, except maybe to do Son of Sun, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm attached to them.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and they're also kind of for her anyway, but
It's true.
In Jets, I find putting a stud on her to be incredibly valued.
Yeah. If I don't have specs or like sunshades,
Yeah.
then I'll do it with stud.
That makes sense. Center bit has 8k. That was
I think
just
so.
short. Just short of it.
Yeah. Oh, I would.
So definitely, yeah.
That'll do that.
Center bit strats don't see very often.
Mm. And that didn't hit the full screen, so no counterattack there. I feel like with this damage, I would probably just do left bit strats because I feel like I'd have to see fewer animations overall because the left bit will get turns, but
that makes
but
sense
I'm sure
too.
it's not going to make that huge a difference, honestly.
Yeah, 2 bubble hits and like a flare or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I think you'd need like 4k damage, and I don't think flare.
Flare might not hit 4k by itself, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that's enough turns.
Might still be enough damage here to, like, one cycle this thing, which you rarely see.
That would be a real treat.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed. Not quite.
So,
X strike.
yep.
Just in a nap.
Just kill it.
Yeah. So the defense doesn't come back right away, right? So this bubble hit should happen stand.
Correct. Yeah, it will like take a turn, do an animation to show you that it's turned it back on. So until it does that, you're good. All right, GG.
GG 231. Considering like you went almost everywhere in the game, that's not very far behind, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think going for that go mode early would have given us a really interesting close race.
Absolutely. But it was still a blast.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for commentating with me. This is my first time doing this, and I had a really good time.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did. I'm gonna see if MrScruffNinjaTuna wants to do an interview, or someone will handle that.
I think.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah. Welcome.
Hey, welcome.
GG.
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 Sorry that took so long. Figured
that's okay.
Yeah, no
we can at least put on a little bit of a show with a boss rush.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
that was quite the Crisis Arm show. If anyone wasn't convinced that the Crisis Arm is good, they are now.
I mean,
yeah, good lord.
Max damage, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I don't see that very often. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love though that the freaking bubble toss ended up doing more than the fire tackle. I was like, I've been beefing up Luca's magic stat this whole game. It's gotta do more damage.
I think it's because Slash has pretty good magic defenses and maybe elemental resistances. So
that would make sense.
Yeah, and I think Bubble Toss is actually non-elemental. Like,
Indeed.
you wouldn't necessarily think so because you cast water with it, but I think it is. So, but yeah.
But I love that. I think the only thing I didn't do was Mount Woe. I want to say.
Yeah, and a Reptite Lair.
Mount Woe, Reptite Lair, and Moonstone Drop Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure Mount Woe has got to have the gate key, and then from there it's got to be like either the clone or the Dreamstone on either the Moonstone Drop Off or the Reptite Lair.
Yep, but that's what we figured out as well.
Yeah.
When I was going through everything, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and see how far I can take this. Maybe I can go ahead and pull a Dipwood and, not go to Magus Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we were really rooting for you because that would have been a wild race if you had found a different go mode after all that. But
yeah, had you gone into the castle like right after Hecarim Cave when you got the last piece, it would have been pretty close. And you got magic first, so I think at that point you were stronger, and I mean that could turn races around. So I think it would have been interesting. Yeah.
Ooh yeah.
Yeah.
Like my whole concept of just doing everything else was just the whole avoid Magus Castle. I mean that's really it.
Yeah.
I've seen it so much this tournament that it's like, yeah, I want to see something else, but the seed's like, no.
Yeah.
You must do it.
I hear ya.
I feel that. I gotta ask though, why did you? It felt like you delayed Hecarim Cave like a lot, as to even well after you got magic and everything.
I want to say it's because of the Prism Shard. I honestly thought following that train would have actually led me to where I needed to go.
Makes sense.
That's why I ended up putting that off for so long. Same with the mountain,
right,
Dendora, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I figured, all right, early Prism Shard. You start with, Marley.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta have something, right? No,
Absolutely. Actually, my theory on it was that because you got Pendant and Chrono Trigger so early, like you thought that was the gate.
that too. I was hoping. When I got the Ruby Knife, I was like, no.
Yeah.
like
Very troll seed in that regard, giving you so many different options so quickly.
But I was sitting there, like, with all the stuff that I got. Of course, the jerky was the last straw. I was like, all right, this is gonna be terrible.
That was brutal. That was.
And then I got the Shiva Edge. I was like, oh, that's really good for Chrono, but I've got everything else. And going through Magus' Castle, I was still thinking, like, all right, maybe I should swap out Robo for Chrono. Have fun with that. And then I found the Crisis Arm.
Yeah. Then there's no more decisions to be made.
Nope.
I think I menued harder and faster than ever before.
But yes, commiserations for the lost, but thank you for the brilliant display of the glory that is the Crisis Arm.
It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch, for sure.
Well, I'm glad I was entertaining. That was my goal.
Yep.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this awesome platform. So, I guess I'll go ahead and let you guys take over, and thanks again.
All right.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you again. Okay. And yeah, that wraps up our race. And so again, the next match in this tournament is Kale is going to go against Kyuketsuki, and that's going to be on Wednesday the 10th at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. That'll be watch for sure.
Yeah. So until then, I guess I will sign off. I'm Lord Batsy, and this was Zero Praxis with me. Thank you so much for commentating as well, by the way.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for helping me and everything. It's a great time. And quick shout out to SpeedGaming crew getting us the infrastructure and everything for this, and to the runners as well.
SpeedGaming and the runners, everyone who makes this possible, and of course our Jets of Time devs, without whom we wouldn't have this crazy, amazing Chrono Trigger ROM hack that just gives us all so much joy. Alrighty.
Good vibes. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care, everybody.
All right. Good night, everyone.